Jos Verstappen has once again voiced his concerns, and this time it seems his predictions from a few months back are becoming a reality. The ongoing friction between him and Christian Horner shows no signs of fading. Max Verstappen, struggling to maintain his lead in the Drivers' Championship, now faces a situation that could mark the beginning of Red Bull's downfall. This rivalry and Max's position raise a critical question: was Jos right all along about Red Bull's future? More importantly, could this lead Max to consider a new team come 2026? It's well known that Jos and Christian Horner haven't been the best of friends since that fateful moment in Monaco back in 2022. Horner's stance was clear: no driver is bigger than the team. Consequently, Sergio Perez was prioritized over Max in certain strategy calls. What seemed like a minor issue back then has now snowballed into an ongoing series of disputes. And Jos's latest comments could be the tipping point that worsens this strained relationship. Max himself has raised concerns about the car's performance, highlighting issues that went unaddressed due to his ability to secure unexpected wins. Some of those victories were more a result of other teams' mistakes, like McLaren's blunders in Canada and Imola, rather than Red Bull's outright dominance. Now, the power struggle within Red Bull has taken center stage, causing ripples throughout the Austrian squad. To make matters worse, 3 of the team's top engineers have departed recently. It all started with the exit of Adrian Newey, who moved to Aston Martin. Whether coincidental or not, Red Bull's decline began just as Newey announced his departure. This was soon followed by Jonathan Wheatley, the sporting director known for exerting pressure on Michael Masi during the chaotic 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Lastly, Will Corton, head of strategy for over 20 years since the team's Jaguar days, also left. Jos Verstappen had foreseen this situation earlier in the season, warning that such upheaval was inevitable if the leadership under Horner didn't change. His cautionary words seem prophetic now, as Red Bull finds itself on a shaky path. During the East Belgian rally last weekend, Jos was asked about the ongoing turmoil at Red Bull. His response: "This is what I warned them about. The team often says, it doesn't matter, we can just put someone else in that position, but now, too many key people are leaving." Max is constantly questioned about it, and frankly, it's not a good situation. Jos's frustration is clear, especially since Horner has repeatedly downplayed the problems at hand. Even though Christian was cleared of allegations regarding inappropriate behavior after an internal investigation, Jos remains unconvinced that Horner is steering the team in the right direction. The father of the 3-time world champion has voiced concerns many times, pointing out that it's Horner's fault the car hasn't seen significant improvement in recent months. Max, despite his race wins and podiums, has frequently flagged issues with the RB20. Without changes, Red Bull could soon find themselves in trouble in both championships. While the Constructors' Championship seems lost to McLaren, the downward spiral might not end there, especially with Ferrari breathing down their necks in the fight for second place. The situation has been made even worse by Red Bull's old wind tunnel and the sporting penalty, which now severely limits their time in this critical facility. This combination of technical and internal struggles is putting immense pressure on the team. Adding to the tension is the ongoing drama between Jos and Horner, which has only created more friction within the squad. Jos has been vocal about his displeasure, stating that the team often makes the wrong internal decisions and that Horner has a tendency to sugarcoat problems instead of addressing them head-on. "You need to hold up a mirror and not always gloss over everything," Jos said. "The good people are leaving, and I'm very unhappy with what's happening. There's no way to sugarcoat it anymore, this is serious." Max, on the other hand, is left dissatisfied with a car that doesn't meet his expectations. It's now up to Horner to get the team back on track, and though Helmut Marko has tried to de-escalate the feud by suggesting that their disagreements should be settled privately, he too points fingers at Horner for the current state of affairs. Meanwhile, McLaren has surged ahead, and every upgrade Red Bull has introduced since Miami seems to be a downgrade, which puts the team's future in even more uncertainty. Despite the mounting pressure, Red Bull managed to gather useful data from races in Baku and Singapore, which were expected to be a disaster for Max's championship defense against Norris. Astonishingly, Max only lost 10 points over these 2 events, a small miracle for Red Bull. However, the underlying problem remains: a mass exodus of staff, including several high-profile engineers, threatens the team's stability. When such experienced personnel leave, they often take with them colleagues they've worked closely with for years, leaving gaps that are not easily filled. Many of these departures point to the unstable environment within Red Bull. It's a sign that the team needs to address its internal issues sooner rather than later. And it's not just the 2024 season that's at stake. If the current competitive landscape continues, which is almost certain given the regulations will remain the same, Red Bull could find itself in a tough spot for 2025. Even Horner has acknowledged this. Max, in particular, will face an uphill battle to defend his title with the kind of car they are currently developing. Horner tries to reassure everyone, highlighting that they've recruited talent from other teams, including Mercedes, and downplays the impact of losing figures like Newey and Wheatley. But for Jos and many others, this isn't enough to stop the growing concern around Red Bull's future. Horner has consistently tried to diminish the significance of Newey's departure. He emphasized that Newey had been contemplating retirement for nearly a decade, so the team had been preparing for his eventual exit. Adrian chose to move on, and we've got the strength and depth to continue, Horner explained. He also downplayed the exits of other key figures like Jonathan Wheatley, stating, "They are just 2 people out of the 2,000 we have in the group." Horner highlighted the recruitment of around 250 people over the last year, including many from Mercedes, and argued that this new talent would offset the loss of the more public-facing figures. However, the current car's performance window is Red Bull's main concern. The team can't keep relying on Max to finish second in every race to secure the championship, especially with Norris now a serious contender. Helmut Marko admitted that the data they are getting from simulations needs to translate effectively on track. As soon as Max starts winning races again, Perez will naturally move up, and the whole situation will look completely different, Marko said, acknowledging the need for a car with a broader working window and more pace. Unfortunately, Red Bull's simulation data and on-track reality have not aligned lately, steering them in the wrong direction. Compounding these issues is the age of their wind tunnel, which dates back to the post-World War II era, making it clear that something needs to change, and quickly. That's it for today's deep dive into Red Bull's ongoing saga. The situation is tense, and the next few races will be crucial for Max and the entire team. What do you think? Can Red Bull turn things around, or are they in for more trouble? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more insights into the world of Formula One. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest F1 news and stories. And before you go, check out the video on your screen right now. It's packed with more thrilling F1 discussions that you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.